coming. He's coming. He's coming. Oh, he loves that coffee.
Stop!
You've broken it now.
Look what you've done.
It is the next day. We're here on the Hooker Valley Trail. It's a beautiful sunny day. This is what we were waiting for. We had those few days where we just did nothing just to wait for the nice sunny day with the fresh snow. And here we are. Let's go. We're almost there. Tom doesn't like the bridges.
Yeah, you see these bridges a lot on the internet when you look at this track, and they look gorgeous, and they are gorgeous, but they bounce.
They bounce. You are doing this.
And they say maximum load 20 people, so clearly they're not that strong, and they're made of wood. This track is overcrowded, but it is midday on a Saturday, on a sunny day.
On a sunny day.
So my recommendation is come on a weekday, or do the oldest travel hack in the book and just be the first person here and get up early. But coming in the middle of the day on a Saturday, you are fighting people for space a little bit. It is super busy, so you can probably see in the shot actually. There's a lot of people on the trail, so.
All right, we're gonna keep going. I reckon we are almost there.
And it's been beautiful. So this is the grand finale of the Hooker Valley track. The Hooker Valley.
The Hooker.
The Hooker. The Hooker herself. The Hooker Lake. It appears that there's a glacier at the end of it. But yeah, this is the end of the Hooker Valley track. It's more about the journey than the destination, because the best views are on the way here, and it's been really the most stunning part of the country so far for me, even trumping Milford Sound, because these mountains are incredible. I have a fish. This is one of the best places in the world to catch trout and salmon. So I have been trying to fish, and it did accidentally die. I didn't kill it, but I caught its swim bladder, so it ended up dying. So we're gonna have it for dinner. Otherwise I would have just let it go. As long as I eat it, I can make peace. It tastes so much like salmon that I'm starting to question whether or not it was a trout. And I want to go fishing again, but the trouble is, I don't want to kill any more fish. We have arrived to the west coast. Yeah, Haast Pass, beautiful drive, lots of waterfalls and rivers and mountains and all that good New Zealand stuff. But now we are here by the sea, the trees and the sandflies. So as we head up the west coast, we're actually going to end up on the back side of Mount Cook and that range. So where we were a couple days ago in the Hooker Valley, we're actually going to be on the other side of the mountain range. As we head up the coast, we'll see more big snowy mountains. But the bonus is on the other side, we also have this gorgeous blue sea.
It is the end of the day. The sun has just set. Basically what we've done all day is just kind of hang out at the little beach spot, charge our cameras with the solar panel. We are in the car because there were probably 500 sandflies this evening. I couldn't imagine what they're like in summer, because this is spring. This is the end of October. What we're going to do for the rest of our evening is we're going to sit in the car away from the sandflies and play some Uno while we look at this incredible view behind us. Basically what's happened today is we woke up at our beautiful campsite, as we showed you yesterday, by the beach. we opened up the sliding door. 50 sandflies came in the car, and we decided to just leg it out of there and try and get away from the sandflies. I think I've been bitten this morning about 10 times. So we just wanted to get away from the sandflies and run away.
So we've been powering our way up the west coast today. As we mentioned, it's the most remote part of the country, and that means there's also not a lot to see. So we've just powered up the west coast to the top. We're in Hokitika. We're going to be doing a shower and clean and laundry day, and then we'll be checking out the gorge and the glowworms while we're here, which is going to be really cool.
So we did pass the Box Glacier and Franz Josef. Franz Josef is a nice little town to stop at. If you want to see the glacier and you want to be in the glacier, it's about $500 to $600 per person, and we don't have that, so we didn't do it. We have kind of been in a glacier. Was the Black Ice Cave. There's a video about it if you want to go watch it. We've kind of done it, so spending $600 to do it here just didn't seem like a good use of our budget.
You can walk to the glacier viewpoint, but it's actually further away than what we saw at the Hooker Valley track a couple of days ago, so we decided just to skip the glaciers and just head up here because we've got a lot more to do. We've still got all of the east coast above Christchurch to do, and then some of the North Island. So
With there not being any freedom camping in the west coast means that we have to do some weird freedom camping, some not so glamorous freedom camping. So we are in the car park of a pub.
we are still in Hokitika. So this pub here allows you to park your camper van and sleep here for the night if you just go in and register and, you know, buy a beer or something. So we just went in and had some dinner, and we get to park up for free for the night. So tomorrow we'll finish up here in Hokitika and head through Arthur's Pass down to Christchurch to start our journey on the other side of the coast.
We were walking about 100 meters away from the pub campsite to see a small cave where we may see some glowworms for free. But we have to walk at night on this highway.
Oh, this is like a full-on cave.
Wow, can you see that? Oh, you can. Whoa, this is so cool. So we walk into this. This is what it looks like. Just pretty scary. Did you see them? Look, that's all the glowworms.
These are a native New Zealand animal that live in a cave, and there's no reason to pay some tour company hundreds of dollars to go and see them, because it's a natural thing here and they can be seen all over the country. So do your research and you can come and see the glowworms for free.
This is the hole.
It is just a hole in the side of a cliff that you have to climb into, but at the other side is a magical glowworm paradise.
Cheeky kids running around trying to get food. Coming. He's coming. He's coming. Oh, he loves that coffee.
Oh, you silly boy. Stop!
You've broken it now.
Look what you've done. Come on, get out the way, you bad.
Don't think about it. This is Tom's coffee. We have made it to our campsite for the night. So we're just driven from Arthur's Point about 20 minutes down the road to this lakeside camping spot that's got mountains in the background, isolated all to ourselves, so very different to sleeping in the car park. We've got these gorgeous views. Tom's fishing. What we've been doing in the meantime is that we drove to Christchurch.
And then we made our way up to Kaikoura, a very famous place on the east coast where you can see the biggest seal colony in all of New Zealand. And that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool, not gonna lie. We saw some seal pups. We saw lots of very intimidating looking male seals. We got a little bit closer than we should have.
So after that, we spent a night there and we jet set off to the north of the South Island and making our way to Abel Tasman. So we saw the beautiful beaches. We spent the day there. We went on a really sunny weekend and then we parked up for the night and the locals shot fireworks at our car. And it just really threw off the vibe of the trip for us.
You'll find a lot of parts in New Zealand. There is a pretty negative attitude towards freedom campers because of a lot of things. There are a lot of news articles that you see that really just put it in a bad light. So a lot of the locals aren't very keen on us staying in their town. So we were staying in a small town in Abel Tasman called Motueka. In a freedom camping spot with about 15 to 20 other camper vans, so very busy. It seems to be busy there every night, and the locals took it upon themselves at midnight to try and deter people like us from staying there again.
I guess.
Yeah, like 1 in the morning too. They've gone out of their way to like get fireworks and come and attack people in the town, tourists. And this isn't the only situation. Like if you scroll through Wikicamps on all of the reviews, all the way up from the west coast in Haast, all the way up to the top, Kaikoura as well, same thing, and Abel Tasman, there are people that are throwing rocks at vehicles, people that are smashing your wing mirrors off in the middle of the night and like smashing your windows in, throwing petrol bombs at your car. It's honestly petrol bombs and then fireworks, which we actually firsthand experienced.
So the vibe was off.
We experienced similar things in Kaikoura. They've implemented their own bylaws to limit freedom camping there. On the west coast as well, most of the freedom camping spots have been closed because the locals were petitioning and blocking them and throwing rocks at vehicles. So there is a great deal of hate around the South Island. We decided to move on.
Now we're at the top of the North Island. How's this happened? Well, first of all, sometimes we get lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce, in the sauce.
As you saw last video, all the drama that happened when we got up to the top, you know that already. So we made the very daunting and scary crossing over to Wellington. I took the plane and Tom took the ferry in gale force winds. So
Windy Welly is an appropriate name. It's windy.
It's windy.
Windy.
Terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying.
And then, look, the North Island, you can really get through that quite quickly because it's a lot smaller.
We took the road straight up the middle, and if you've been doing your research, you will know that one of the main attractions to do on the North Island is the Tongariro National Park, and more precisely, the Tongariro Alpine Crossing. Now, we are neither fit enough nor organised enough to have booked that in advance. And we're in a bit of a rush time-wise, so we decided to just skip over the crossing, but we did get a lovely night's camping in the national park, and we got to see an unobstructed view of the mountain, which was pretty awesome.
And then we did Taupo. We saw the McDonald's that you have to see.
Yeah.
Which was a plane.
Like, it really is the world's coolest McDonald's. We got to eat our breakfast inside of an old DC-130. Which is just awesome, considering it's just parked in the playground of a McDonald's. Yeah, so there weren't too many attractions that we wanted to stop at on the way up, but Coromandel is definitely somewhere you need to come, and you need to give it the time it deserves. So we're here for the whole weekend, and we're going to be seeing some more amazing sights like this.
We've come down to the beach at sunset just to wrap up our evening, and again, amazing. Such a beautiful part of New Zealand.
It really is. It just comes out of nowhere too. You're just driving up through the farms, through the just very flat landscape, and then suddenly this tropical paradise just pops out of the country, right in this little tip, this little peninsula. And the people just seem so laid back. Freedom camping here is amazing.
Some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, just like all to yourself, is incredible. Oh, just such a good end to the day. I could live here forever. So we are in Wangapua.
Wangapua, it's just a beach and a shop. But that's all you need, because the shop sells everything.
And it's nice. So we drove up to the hot pools, busy. Drove up to Cathedral Cove, closed indefinitely for summer.
Look, I'm not going to complain. It was Cyclone Gabrielle. She came through and she just absolutely wreaked havoc. So she was the reason that the gold mining tunnels were closed. She was the reason that we walked through that rail tunnel and had to turn around. And she was the reason that Cathedral Cove was also closed, because it was damaged in a cyclone last year. So I'm not that mad about it, because you can't really be mad at wind, can you?
So we have hightailed it up to the top. So we are just a stone's throw away from New Chum Beach, one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. So I'm excited to see if this is true. So we've been to a few beaches now.
The beach that we're on is pretty beautiful. And considering it's about 100 meters that way, I would say that one's pretty beautiful too.
Yeah.
There are only two camper van freedom camping spots here at Wangapua, and we're in one of them.
So,
but we're going to drink 12 beers, and then we're going to go for a swim in the water with a heavy rip. Don't consume alcohol and go in the ocean. Don't go in the ocean when there are warnings about rips. Don't go in the ocean in a place where there are multiple fatal shark attacks. But
don't mix these all together.
But if you wear pit vipers, you can do all three of those things at once.
Or you can get caught in a rip, drink 12 beers, and get eaten by a shark.
That's literally my afternoon plans.
Amazing. We'll see you when we get on the beach.
We'll see you in the local newspaper.
We've moved to the beach. Yeah, this is the setup. We've got the camping chairs out. We've got the beer going, the hydro flasks here. And then Tom is all the way out there, dunking himself in. He's swimming, but he's very scared about the sharks. So he's not going too far. And I can put money, I can place bets that the fact that the first thing he says is something about sharks. So we'll see.
See? Pit vipers on. I neither got eaten by a shark or drowned.
What did I say? So we had a good day at the beach. We fell asleep. We're a little burnt. But now it is time for dinner.
And as is tradition here in van life, we are back to being homeless in a parking lot cooking pasta at the back of a car. Which sounds cute, but it sure doesn't look it if you live here.
Yeah, here you go. This is our life.
This is our life. Now I ask you, if you owned a $2 million home and there were people cooking pasta in the parking lot of your house, would you be pissed?
It's a new day. This morning we are doing the journey to the new Chums Beach lookout. I'm currently walking on rocks. We've just crossed the river bit. We're doing this at 10 a.m. because that's when it's low tide, so we can cross the stream at the beach.
Does that mean if we don't make it back in time, we're stuck?
We've got like
4 hours.
So if not, we'll just have to take our shoes off and get knee deep into some water.
Yeah, this is not a Department of Conservation approved track, is it? But we're getting through it. We've climbed over trees, we've climbed over rocks, we've crossed rivers. That's what the adventure's all about, right?
Hopefully, we're almost at the top. It's starting to look sketchier and sketchier.
Yeah, it's starting to just look more like a cliff.
We are so close to the top. Just one last little bit of rock. But you can oversee the beach here, and I'm agreeing with what they're saying. This does feel like one of the 10 most prettiest beaches in the world. It is absolutely gorgeous. We're at the top. We made it. The water is so clear and so blue that you can see all the ripples.
All the sharks.
There are no sharks.
Also the fact that it's not accessible right by road just really adds like another element to it, another layer of awesomeness.
Yeah, the fact
sure.
that it's just so secluded, and to get here you have to go on this hike through the bushland just to even be on it. So
Yeah.
New Chum Beach, guys, on your bucket list.
I would say it's even worth coming to Coromandel just to see the beaches like this. You don't, like, it's just, I didn't know New Zealand had beaches like this.
That is a shark.
That's a hammerhead shark.
That is a shark, ladies and gentlemen.
I told you. She was like, there's no sharks here. That's a hammerhead shark.
We are at the beach now. That climb down was terrifying, but quick. I reckon thus far it's probably taken us 20 minutes to go up and about 5 minutes to come back down.
But over on the beach here, there is a stingray. And I saw 2 sharks in this bay, so maybe come look at it. Maybe don't swim.
I'm just gonna take my shoes off and I'm just gonna dive in, hopefully catch a hammerhead shark with my bare arms, bring it back out just to show you as proof that we're safe.
Bloody Australians.
So we got really freaked out at the last one because it was so dark in the cave and it was a bit spooky. This looks 10 times more spooky, so amazing. Let's see how we go. It is so much spookier than the other. It's so much spookier than the other cave.
So you do have to walk in the water to see these worms, but it's like here it's pretty easy. But once you get through the water and you get deep enough, there are glowworms everywhere.
There are so many glowworms in this cave.
Many.
And it was about 5 minutes in, you just need to be able to get your feet wet.
Yep.
And it's completely free. Oh
Wow.
my God. That was amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Well, I think that's one of the best things we've done in New Zealand.